Hey guys, welcome to your next class. Today we are going to be looking at tools and techniques to help strengthen these new flexible beliefs and ways of thinking. So by the end of the class today, you're going to have new approaches to help strengthen and crystallize this new way of thinking. So hold on tight, let's get going. Now, in cognitive behavioral therapy, generally I would say there's three types of insight. You have got cognitive insight where you're like, yeah, I agree with that. That makes sense. You have like that little breakthrough. Then you have like emotional insight. That's when you don't only think it and understand it, but you also feel it as a way of, yeah, I feel it, that feels good. Now, I like to say there's also something called philosophical insight. That's when you integrate it as a way of life. You begin to experience it on an everyday basis as a way of being. And that's really good news. And ultimately, that's the type of work that we want to achieve. That's where you want to go with all this practice that you're doing. You want to be feeling that way automatically. Now, that takes time, of course, but that's the journey, that's the goal. So today we're going to be looking at some ways that you can strengthen these new perspectives that you already have. Now, you guys don't know this, but I'm also a qualified clinical hypnotherapist, and I trained and taught clinical hypnosis, hypnotherapy over the years. And obviously, visualization, guided visualizations, and imagery work where we visualize certain beliefs, certain experiences can really help integrate and strengthen how we see things and how we see these new perceptions of ours. So today we're going to be looking at some visualization techniques that can help strengthen the work that you've already done. And visualization and guided meditations can help shift things from, okay, I've had that idea and I can see a new way of doing it, and then it can shift you into not only feeling it, but really having that breakthrough. So let's look at a few techniques. Now, the first technique, which you can practice in your own time, so when you've got a bit of time, don't do it now, because I'm just going to rush through them right now so you get a sense of them, and then you can practice them later on. The first thing is, sure, look, you've got to find a comfortable place, somewhere where you feel relaxed, chilled out, and just allow yourself to take a few deep breaths, close your eyes. And what this technique does is it allows you to compare. So when you're visualizing, you've closed your eyes, you've taken a few deep breaths. The idea is first, on one side, to visualize that old belief that you had, that old rigid belief. For example, you might have had the belief, I must not make any mistakes. So allow yourself to visualize a scene where you had that belief. Maybe you're at work, maybe you're speaking in front of people, and visualize that scene with that rigid belief. And just notice what you look like. Notice your body position. Notice the look on your face. Notice your emotions. Notice how you're feeling. Notice the stress and discomfort with that difficult negative emotion. Notice how everyone's reacting around you. Notice how you're thinking. Notice everything. Really observe that and notice how difficult that emotion and that rigid belief is. Now, once you fully visualize that, what I then want you to do is I want you to visualize the same scene, but with the healthy, flexible belief, with a different healthy belief. So for example, that might be, I prefer not to make any mistakes, but sometimes I might do. And if I do make a mistake, it's bad, but it's not the end of the world. Maybe that's your flexible belief. Visualize that new scene, but with the flexible, healthy belief. Notice how your behavior shifted. Notice how you're feeling. Notice how you're acting differently. Notice the positive effects of that healthy belief, right? So you visualize the negative belief in the situation and the positive belief, right? And then you compare the two. While you're visualizing, you compare the two. Notice the differences. Notice how you prefer one to the other. When you're ready, just allow yourself to destroy the unhealthy, negative belief that you don't like. Allow yourself to destroy it. Imagine it exploding, sending it into nowhere, watching it dissolve, whatever you want to do. Just watch it disappear, destroy it. and then allow that other image to really fill the space, that positive image of you dealing with that situation well. And then when you really allow yourself to experience it, just allow yourself to integrate it as a way of being, bring it into yourself and allow yourself to enjoy that feeling of having that healthy approach, that healthy belief. So here's another way you can do it. Imagine a time in the future. You've been doing your CBT and your training for a long time and you've mastered it. You've mastered this flexible thinking. Maybe it's 6 months in the future, maybe it's a year, maybe it's 2 years. But imagine a time in the future when you have mastered this way of thinking and you're dealing with life's challenges. You're dealing with the same challenges, but in a new way. You're dealing with those situations in a new way, and notice how you're feeling. Notice how you're dealing with the circumstances. Imagine yourself dealing with them really well. Like you've been practicing a long time and you're a master now. So allow yourself to experience that. Go forward into the future and visualize everything. Notice how it feels differently. So you spent a while enjoying that future time, visualizing yourself dealing with different challenges successfully. You're successfully coping with them. And then what you do, once you've experienced that and seen yourself dealing with those situations, see if you've got any advice, that future self, see if that future self has any advice for you now. What would they like to tell you? What would they like to say to you? Allow yourself to see if there's anything that that future self would like to say, giving you some guidance, whatever that might be. And then bring that future self back into the moment and integrate all of that positive learning and wisdom. This is a really powerful technique and you can practice it on your own and it works, okay? Both these techniques work and they will help to strengthen your new view, your new perspective, and for you to take new learnings, new insight, and a new way of feeling about these things. So that's it, guys. These two techniques are really strong. You can practice them all the time. The important thing when you're doing them is to visualize yourself dealing with the challenges, right? Don't just imagine some rosy situation where you don't have any problems. Because as you know, in CBT, we can't always change our circumstances, but we can change how we behave, how we feel, how we respond, how we think. We get a say in how we respond and react. Now, sometimes we can change our situation. Of course we can. But the important thing here is what we're trying to do is to change your response, to change how you act. That's what we're doing when we teach emotional responsibility. So when you're visualizing these situations, visualize those challenging situations, but you dealing differently with them. Okay? So that's all for now. Good luck in trying these tools out. I hope you have some success and looking forward to hearing any breakthroughs or positive experiences you have, and I will catch you later. Bye.